icon of Loki we saw, obviously we had to bring it in. Obviously, I am Black Goth Loki. Obviously, Amelia is Mad Max Fury Road Loki.
I will take it happily.
And as we are about to see in this glorious reveal, this is Dionysus
Better?
Beauty Loki.
Okay.
Right? Like, someone feed this bitch some grapes.
I can't cut them through the screen, otherwise I would.
Okay,
Bitch.
better?
Yes, amazing. See? Feed them some grapes. Everyone, send Momo grape money. I'm sure there's a link somewhere in their bio. This is a cat toy because my cat will yell at me if I do not give her constant attention. So, we're on episode 5. Where to begin? Where to begin? Let's start with which Loki was everyone's favorite Loki? Mine is obviously Alligator Loki.
Oh, Search Binder wants to see your cat.
Oh. Fonzie.
Mine, I'm gonna say Kid Loki. Actually, no, mine was classic Loki. I felt like he stole the show.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was gonna cry over a man.
Right?
For me, let's see. I do think I have to root for everyone black, so I'm gonna go for Boastful Loki.
Yeah.
Which Black Loki? There were technically 2 Black Lokis. One of them barely had any screen time, but I'm pretty sure there were 2 Black ones.
I can't hear you all of a sudden.
Is Fonzie like muffling your mic or something?
We move on.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We persist. I was saying I think there are technically 2 Black Lokis.
Oh yeah, there's like the one that had nothing to say at all.
Yeah.
And then the Loki we know.
Yeah.
And then the Loki who conveniently got less screen time than the alligator.
Yeah.
You know what? Something I like, I don't know, this is not technically a headcanon. This is just something I really think happened. I feel like Boastful Loki was written to be black. But I don't think in the script it said Boastful Loki. I would bet money it said Black Loki.
Or Blokey, if you will.
Or Bloki.
Yes. Loki.
And then they were just like, we can't actually have
to
that.
keep it PC, they said urban Loki. That's the key word, guys.
And then to like, you know, not get a bunch of hate, they changed it to Boastful Loki when the show actually came out. But I don't know that for sure. That is just my prediction.
That's true.
No, I'm gonna drop that. I believe that.
Now, for
it is really
those
hot here.
who may have forgotten, because it comes out on Wednesdays, which I think we have never acknowledged how funny it is that we used to do it basically the day after. And now we're like a couple days. We have had time to ruminate and forget. We will do our 30-second recap. Is it whose turn? Is it my turn?
Yeah, I did it last week. I think I actually did a good job last week.
Oh,
Did
I'm
I?
so sad.
Have I done it for Loki yet? I think I have. Yeah, I have.
I've done it twice for Loki, so we're on episode 5, so it's definitely not my turn.
All right.
It might actually be my turn.
All right. 1 second. Let's
Everything that
cue it up.
happened. Oh my god.
Let's. Did you say you forgot what happened and you literally made it your turn?
I like really just realized. You know what?
Did
I'm gonna go do my best. I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah.
Did you play yourself in real time?
I think I just played myself in real time. Because as soon as I said
You
it, I
hate to see
suddenly
it.
forgot everything that happened. But I'm going to try my best. Okay.
We love to see failure. We don't, but how do I stop? What? Oh, we're gonna add a timer. 30 seconds on the clock. Just kidding. That said 30 minutes.
It's plenty of time.
Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Now.
Okay, so we start off and we meet Boastful Loki, Classic Loki, and Kid Loki. They take Loki and they hide in a bunker, right? And then also back in the TVA, Ravonna betrays Sylvie, and Sylvie, what is it? Stabs herself in the heart. Can't remember what it's called, and ends up at like the edge of the universe, whatever. I forget the name of the smoke monster. The smoke monster from Coventry is now there and tries to eat. Am I done?
Two things that I
What?
noticed. One, you forgot Alagoki.
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
tragic.
yes.
2, you said the smoke monster from
Coventry.
Coventry, when it is very clearly the smoke monster from Twitches. So,
Yeah. Coventry
You know,
is the country in
Coventry is the
Twitches.
country in Twitches.
oh shit, I don't remember that. Never mind.
Damn.
I rescind it. My name is
Yeah,
Amelia
yeah.
Som, and I was wrong.
Damn.
Yes, you were.
Double
Do the
damn.
wrong dance.
Also, am I the only one who when we saw, like, was it Theol or whatever this fuck, Atiol?
Alioth?
Alioth, I was like, puppy.
Yeah, he's just a boy. He's just a hungry boy.
I was like, someone just needs to give him cuddles and attention.
Give him a toy. Give him a treat.
Right? Like, what are you feeding? Does he have enough iron in his diet? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Arn.
Iron. Like, oh my gosh. Momo, I love how every time you do this, you get bogged down in such minute details.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
good.
good at this. I'm not good at this.
Let me try. Loki ends up in the bad place with a bunch of other Lokis. They try to survive, have a little bit of a Loki civil war, and he decides to kill the big bad. Sylvie's like, miss my boy, and gets betrayed and is like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. Goes to the bad place, meets up with Loki. They have a very awkward moment, and then they fight a big dog and then make him be a happy dog.
In my defense, I did forget everything that happened in the episode, like shortly before having to give that. So.
Also, Mobius was there.
Also,
Mobius
was
is
there.
alive.
Listen,
I low-key feel like Mobius is a Loki because only Loki survived, and Throg, apparently.
Apparently.
Mobius is one of those characters where I feel like the longer he's there, the more I'm like, what is your purpose?
What's your deal?
I like him.
I
I
love
like
him.
him, but it's also one of those things where I'm like,
He's
Are
here
you-
for Loki stan hours.
that's fair.
I really
think-
like
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those times where like maybe the importance I thought he was supposed to have to the plot is not the importance of the plot that he does have.
I don't know. Maybe he has
Maybe.
more. Maybe we'll see him again.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think he and Loki should ride on a jet ski together.
I think so as
do
well.
want to see the jet ski. The other thing is, first of all, the fact that there are scenes with just black women, like not a melanin deficient person in sight, wild.
Yeah, I think it might have
I
almost
do
passed
have
the
some-
Bechdel test.
I do have thoughts on it though, because I saw people saying that like, oh, like B15 is an aggressive black woman, and I'm just like, no, she's not.
She's so
What?
I don't
sweet.
think so.
She's
She's
literally
like
so
literally
kind.
one of the most understanding people in that show.
She literally,
yeah.
she literally cried last episode.
Yeah, like
You
she's
see a dark-skinned woman with a buzz cut, and you.
think aggressive, but she's never actually been aggressive.
She's never been aggressive.
Well, okay.
Well, no, okay, here's the thing.
It was in episode 2. To be fair, she was understandably aggressive.
She was
An
aggressive
episode
toward
was
Loki, but it doesn't count
Yeah.
being mean to Loki.
Yeah,
I
was
wouldn't
just
even
like-
call that aggressive. First of all, she was the only one with any bit of sense because Mobius
True.
was all ready to give him a knife, and she was just like, I don't think we should do that. So I just feel like I wouldn't call that aggressive. I would just be like, she's the only one that had any bit of sense.
True.
She's
Also, I think she did enjoy punching Loki in episode 1. I will give in the first 2 episodes. I feel like
Everyone
It's one of those
enjoys
times where, like-
punching Loki. It's a rite of
I'm
passage.
for it. I'm for it. I do recognize that other people wouldn't have punched him. Do I?
I
agree
wouldn't
those
even
other
call
people?
it aggression, actually.
I would just call
Because
it like a
for-
little love tap, you know?
She did, like, with the pruning thing, she did, like, electrocute him, but, like, I wouldn't call that aggression.
I'm just saying, like,
He had
in
it
these
coming.
episodes, she's been the pinnacle of an angel. She's literally been an angel helping.
She's done
people.
nothing wrong in her life ever.
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 And she was so nice to Sylvie.
She
Help
was.
Sylvie.
She was, like,
She even
so ready, yeah.
she also was helpful to Ravinia,
Ravonna.
who is the biggest bitch, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, you literally, your entire institution is crumbling around you, and you're like, I'll still hold up this institution. I'm sorry. The second,
And I've never
The respectability politics of it all.
I have not seen a single person claim Ravonna was aggressive, and I'm just like, she's literally holding up an oppressive institution, but like, she's not aggressive. All right, okay.
Listen,
Big hms.
Is it because she's light skinned?
listen.
No, that can't be it.
Is it because she's
She
traditionally
actually
pretty?
like pruned Loki, but no aggression there. No aggression.
Surely. Also, she's such a two-faced liar.
I
Like,
hate her.
to Mobius, I'm sorry, I wasn't here last week. The levels of betrayal this woman will go through for who? Literally, we do not know.
I feel like she's lying. I feel like she knows.
I feel
knows
like she and Miss
something.
Minutes know something that we don't know. They're in on
I
something.
listen,
I don't trust that clock.
The
I wouldn't be
way
surprised if Miss Minutes was behind this the whole time. It was Miss Minutes all along.
if
Oh,
we
yeah, for
see
sure.
a big hologram of Miss Minutes, okay, if Miss Minutes is the villain, I want her to be like a Paula Dean, Martha Stewart mixture. You know what I mean? Like heavy on the Paula Dean because we all know Paula Dean's super racist and has documented cases of it. Like there's something. The fact that we saw a castle in the last minutes of the episode is when I was like, there is something there. The way we are about to see some shit.
The big bad is
I'm excited
just
for
Tara
episode
Strong.
6.
It's just Tara Strong in front of a mic and a mocap setup.
Yes, I think this episode might be my favorite episode. I think this episode felt, except for that weird blanket thing, that was.
It's just Marvel can't do romance when they try to do romance. They get so much chemistry everywhere else except for the two that they try to make happen.
I understand. I feel like it was supposed to make us cringe, but I was like, actually, I went through high school. I can go through never seeing stuff like that again. I lived it. I was there.
I think
I
we
did
should
10 years of it.
acknowledge the
ask
fact
about
that like 95% of the romances are written by men. And
they're not even written by men for men. They're written by men for whom? Who is benefiting
they're
from
written
this?
by men for like women to enjoy the romantic subplots, but
I think
like
they're
they're
written
not
by
very
men to
good.
prove that they can do it, and it is proving that they can't do it.
It'd be
They
like
don't do
if
it
I tried to
very
prove
well.
I could do a handstand right now. I mean, I could try for it, but if I fall over, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's not super good. Like it's
Yeah.
there. I acknowledge that it exists.
Yeah, like
Is it good? No comment.
listen, that was probably the weakest moment of the episode. But also, I feel like it ties into the strengths of the episode because I think this is the first time where I truly believe Loki has done inner character growth. I think the way I think the way they try to shoehorn the first episode as the permanence of growth of like Loki being like, I see that everything I've ever wanted is wrong was good. It was great to watch, but like as someone who's like watched the rest of them, you're like, this motherfucker usually needs a couple knocks to the noggin to
Yeah.
get there. And you're telling me
It only took one and done.
yeah, like the Infinity Stones did it. Whatever. This episode, I think, felt really like it because not only did he literally saw himself in all iterations and saw how that is one
Annoying. He's
Yeah.
fucking
He was-
annoying.
He was
Literally the
annoyed
fucking
by
worst.
himself, and he saw the best version of him. He sees the best version of himself in Sylvie. And fun fact, Marvel, you can have really strong relationships that people like root for and understand that aren't romantic. I feel like it would be so much stronger and is as perfectly understood as a strong like Loki literally seeing the best version of himself and falling in love with himself and forgiving himself and like like letting go of things if there was no romance behind it.
A lot of
Or
shows
if-
just like shoehorn in an unnecessary romance.
Yeah.
I don't know
Surge
why,
Binder
but it's a thing.
said that they hadn't realized how much of a standout WandaVision was with actually pulling off a relationship.
Yeah.
WandaVision truly, listen, as someone who has recently cried over fictional romance in Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition, literally, I was sobbing last week over a man named Thane who died.
I guess spoilers for Mass Effect. I don't know.
Listen, everyone can die in Mass Effect, so it's not really a spoiler. You have to do a lot of shit. But like the way you watch these shows and you're like, what are the stakes? What is the chemistry? This is not 1953. You do not fall in love with someone because they're your neighbor and you know that's the only way you can afford to go to the store and buy a turkey. You know what I mean? Like, people have autonomy. People have things to do. There is no good reason for Loki to want to wait. No, let me rephrase that. Loki would in fact bone himself. But to say that Loki, it's just too much. There's just the way you did it where you're like, this love has made me a good person.
Ugh.
And maybe realize it could be a person. Fake shit.
Dumb. Boring.
Fake shit.
Seen it before.
Boring. One bed trope? Yeah, that's good shit.
That's amazing.
Enemies
trope.
to lover? Yes, good shit. Hey, I found an alternate version of myself that has different genitalia and is blonde. Therefore, she is a pretty princess that I must fall in love with.
She's the only. Oh, also the fact that. Okay.
Crack shit.
Now I'm gonna get mad. Because
Let's do it.
The fact that they're like, Loki's canonically gender fluid. They made a big thing about it. And then Loki was like, hey, there's a girl one. Everyone was like, a female? A woman? Me? A girl? I hated that. Two, the fact that
correction, Amelia, slight correction. They did not make any mention of it. It was just like a little thing in the post credits, a picture that said gender fluid. I don't think they said that in dialogue ever.
No, I'm talking about, they didn't say in dialogue, but I'm talking about leading up to the show.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
Right, yeah, like I'm saying like they as in Disney.
Fandom made it a big thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think the show or like Disney actually like highlighted, hey, this is a gender fluid character. I think the fans knew and they hyped it up so much.
Yeah, but like the studio was like, yeah, this character is gender fluid. But like so aside from that, the thing that bothers me too is the trope of the one girl Loki is the virtuous, kind one who knows how to fix everything, and she's the best one because women are naturally so good and just better. It's boring. It's tired. I hate it.
Right, like, listen, men ain't shit, but like, give me a competent man.
Give me a competent man.
Give me a
competent man and a bastard woman.
Mobius is the most competent.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that for him. And that's all I have to say about that. I didn't really have a follow-up.
I really think... Sorry, go ahead.
I think the one thing I will literally lose my motherfucking mind of, if there is another female Loki who is the big bad. I swear to fucking... I swear, I'm saying this now. I swear to fucking God, if I see that shit, I'm going fucking feral.
I believe in female mediocrity.
That's valid.
Give me a female Loki who's just boring.
Yeah.
Who's just there.
I will say...
Well, that's
Okay,
low-key
speaking-
Sylvie because she has no actual personality outside of being the love interest.
Okay, well, it's not her fault she's a woman, so.
To be fair, her personality is rage. And I will accept that. Sylvie's personality is rage. And I love that for her. Which makes sense when you're like, hey, I've been on the run since I was 6. And, Asgardians live for fucking ever or whatever the fuck. I'm like, I love that. This is a feral being. Learning. It's literally Malia from the Loki writers watched Teen Wolf. They watched that one motherfucking season of Teen Wolf. Am I wrong?
I've never seen
I
Teen
don't
Wolf.
know. I hated Amelia's character.
But is this not Malia's storyline, but like slightly different?
I'm sure I don't know.
Like Malia, like gone feral at a young age because she got fucked up by some hunters or some shit.
meets
I think
someone
it's
and is
kinda
learning.
similar.
Yeah, and meets the main character and is like, I'm learning how to be a well-rounded emotional being, but actually men don't know how to write that, so it's not working out at all. And I'm an OP power person, but I will be sidelined in the end.
That's very true, actually.
This
That's
is
very-
Malia's
If they kill off
plot.
Sylvie, you're 100% right.
If this is Malia, listen. That's how fanfiction works, and I love that for them.
I kind of hope they do, mostly because I will say my interest in the character and how they've characterized. Oh my god, Loki as the season has gone on has kind of like gone down. I don't know. It just I said last week, wrong blonde. Loki's whole character is built around his relationship with Thor, and Thor's character is built around his relationship with Loki. And now they're just like, oh, but wait, he just needed to fall in love to see the true thing. So I don't care. So I kind of hope they kill her because I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be bad.
Yeah. Will they kill her? Probably not, because I know people will riot for the wrong reasons.
It'd be
Also,
more interesting if, like,
fact that
Sylvie was
has
more...
Sorry.
Yeah, it'd be more interesting if Sylvie was more Thor than Thor was, and, like, Thor was more Loki than he's supposed to be. And that's why... That's her, like, what is it?
The big bad
The
is
fact that
Thor.
Sylvie has never mentioned her Thor,
is a problem.
What in the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Like, are you telling me, like, that's what gives Loki that? No, I hate all of this. The other thing is, listen, I loved this episode for what it's done. The enchantment, power of friendship shit, whatever. It's fine. But I want to talk to you, the fans, the viewers, specifically TikTok, Loki stands, crumbs. You reminded me of this when you talked about WandaVision. WandaVision was filled with so much beauty and gifable moments of like romance and sweetness and whatever. Falcon and Winter Soldier had one episode and it was like half a slice of pie. I recognize that.
Yeah.
They're giving y'all crumbs. The fact that I'm seeing like 30-second to minute TikToks over a single seated pose, over getting the dagger bit, the fact that they're like, oh, it's so sexy with the dagger holder. What? Crumbs. Guys, this is not the time to sexual. They are literally giving you nothing.
Literally.
Giving you nothing.
The only thing they've given us is Loki getting slapped in the face several times, and it's like, okay.
And that
Thank
wasn't
you.
the part they
Him on his
clung
knees
on.
as well. Him
Right.
on his knees.
But like, as far
But, like,
as
the fact that like we're still getting new content of the same thing of him on his crumbs.
It's
Down
true. That's true.
horrendous.
what was that? I'm sorry. Now I'm just thinking about. Oh, I also am so mad because people were like, maybe they didn't do Loki being gay because Tom Hiddleston was uncomfortable with it. Which I was like, first of all, you're a goddamn actor. What? Second of all, every time I think about how little we've been getting, I think it's like him and Coriolanus. I'm just imagining this. There's this one play he was in where he's like shirtless, ripped, covered in blood, and it's a good moment. It's a good look.
There's literally a movie where he's just Tilda Swinton's sub for like 2 hours.
Only lovers left alive. Yes.
Tom Hiddleston has no shame. Tom Hiddleston does not give a fuck what
He
you
does
make
not
him do.
care.
He does not. He drinks respect woman juice as much as he can, and he's just here for the vibes. Y'all are literally getting crumbs. Crumbs. It's not about him. This show is as little as about him as they could make him, and we need to accept that. We need to have fun with the lore, the fact that they literally casted as few white people as humanly possible, and move on. I just wanted to state that because, like, you know, gifts of like Wanda and Vision and being like, wow, I can't believe they made me care about this couple.
Right.
That was a
Fruitful.
feat.
That was a feat.
I cared so much about them.
I cared
was-
nothing about them going into it. Like, less than
Same.
nothing. I was like, these are kind of some of my least favorite characters in the MCU. And then that, I'm like, okay, best couple, power couple, girl boss, male wife, let's go.
The fact that he would be a house husband, listen.
Mm-hmm.
She, like, the fact that in my mind, in a way, Wanda is my Cynthia Pickles.
I see that.
Especially in the movie where they meet the wild thornberries and she just saves the submarine and shit. Like, Wanda is my Cynthia Pickles, and like,
Is that
was
the
it
name
Dr-
of the mom? I thought that was the name of the
Cynthia,
the doll.
Angelica Pickles' mom. What's the fuck is the mom's name? Whatever
I don't know.
Angelica Pickles' mom's name is, and I think Drew Pickles is the husband. Whatever.
Yeah.
the
Sounds
fuck.
right.
But like, that is what and I just wanted to say, it's okay, guys, to say that you're disappointed that you couldn't be more horny for Loki. For those of you who are suffering, I am sorry for your loss.
Here's the problem. Is after watching the series, I could be more horny for Loki. That's the thing. Like, there's room, there's space, there's room for improvement, there's ways to grow.
Room for improvement.
And I just feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity here, because you have my attention. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Watch Only Lovers Left Alive again? Go watch Crimson Peak? Like, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is you telling us that you already have.
I haven't watched it again since the series started. I mean, I've seen them before. I've seen almost everything Tom Hiddleston has been in that is easily available to watch.
Okay, that's great.
You read that audiobook that I sent you?
No, I have not.
Anyway, let's get slightly back on topic with this episode. Let's go through. Okay, so we have Act 1, the location, the end of the world, time beyond time.
Sure.
I loved the little Loki civil war going on. I loved watching an alligator eat a man's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alligator Loki is what I aspire to be. Unknown to those except for the ones I want to know me.
My favorite thing that I saw...
go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I said my favorite thing that I saw was someone saying that alligator Loki, they're like, he was definitely like a real human Loki, turned into an alligator and told Kid Loki, no one will ever believe you, and then has never said a word since. And that's their like theory for that.
The way
That's what I was literally about to say.
I really feel like alligator Loki chooses this. Alligator Loki's like,
he's living his best life.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? This works for me. I don't want to be perceived. I don't want the fact that no one will talk to alligator Loki because alligator Loki is an alligator. The way in which I would do the same. If I was surrounded by annoying ass versions of myself, I'd just be like, I'm just the alligator version. What you gonna do about it? Growl, growl. Growl.
Also,
What I think is really
growl.
interesting is like, why did they even think to save this alligator Loki version? Because
he
like,
looks cool as
why?
shit.
Yeah, someone said, I like to think he's just an alligator, not a Loki. That's good too. There's no way of alligator Loki's existent that isn't amazing.
And what I find really interesting, I thought that they were going to explain that, oh, he's Loki, but like he was cursed to be an alligator. But no, they were just like, this is an alligator that's also a Loki. And I'm like,
He's just
I
like
mean,
that.
okay.
I'm sorry
I'll
we don't
accept it.
discriminate here.
That is the type of fantasy that I love. The fantastical elements where you're just like, actually, you don't really need the backstory. We don't need to exploit the shit out of this. We're just gonna let this be. We're gonna let it be fun.
I will say,
and it was fun.
Right, one thing I've really liked about the series, and this episode in particular, is I was texting my friend about it, as I often do, and I was like, this episode, in the best way possible, is just so dumb. Like, it's just, they go to a planet, it's just a bunch of different Lokis, one of them's an alligator, and we're like, and half of them, I guess, are arguing internally whether or not that's actually a Loki, or just fucking around. Then Sylvie kills herself, gets a Mobius in a pizza car, and they're talking, they catch up with the Lokis, and they defeat Alioth with the power of friendship. I'm like, this is so dumb. And what a great ride to be on.
I think I told y'all this, but I don't know if the chat might not know, and viewers might not know, that 3 of the 5 writers so far have all worked on Rick and Morty / currently work on Rick and Morty.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So if that does now make if that now makes everything make sense,
Makes
then
this episode makes
there
so
you
much
go.
sense. I was like that.
So
that makes
and
so
this
much sense.
episode was written by someone that wrote for Rick and Morty, and maybe that's the vibes you're picking up because it's bizarre. Like what happened this episode was super fun, but it was so weird.
I think this episode, I think one of the reasons I think it's the most technically, I think this one episode is one of the most successful. Of course, I recognize that for it to be successful, it had to have things to pick up from the previous episodes. But I think it was because of.
Oh, Chino said hi in the chat.
Hey!
Hey, Tino.
Is that this was the best. Like, I think what they want. Also, guys, I was painting. This is magnetic paint on
I
my
was
hand.
going to ask.
Yeah, I got an artist studio and I got tipsy over gay wine, and then we decided to put on a layer of magnetic paint on the walls.
Sure.
Okay.
Did
As
that
you do.
raise more questions than answers? Probably. Do I care? No. So the reason is, I think in the most way, like, of the character of Loki, this episode embodied that character through the plot, where it was serious, had such emotional depth, but fucking off the rails. Fucking, you like, when you're like, what will happen next? A French warship will just appear and try to throw cannons into a monster cloud? Could
I
not
think it was
foresee
an American ship.
An American ship comes in and throws some fucking cannonballs into a cloud. Truly, if I was on land and saw a murder cloud, I would not try to defend anything. I would abandon ship.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, the second you realize you've been teleported somewhere, I don't care if it's just some guy with a baseball bat. You get the hell out of there. You don't know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, you could tell there were no black people on this ship because no one was running away.
Yeah.
No one was leading the pack.
Like, let's fight the cloud. Like, all right,
Yes.
see how that's gonna go.
Yeah, I think Mobius was a great springboard for Sylvie. I think it's very funny how they had that kind of like Falcon and Winter Soldier moment where they're both friends with Loki, they're not friends with each other. And I think also the fact that it happened in a car. I do really enjoy how Marvel has this weird trope where they're like, people who aren't really connected are going to connect in a car. Like, there's something about, let's put them in a car together and see what happens.
At this
It means
moment,
they're
I have
moving
decided to
forward
believe
together.
that this is propaganda by the auto industry, by Big Auto.
Unfortunately for Big Auto, I am poor, so that won't work on me. I think that was great. I loved classic Loki because the motherfucker's costume, silly as shit. It looked cheap.
Amazing.
I loved how
Phenomenal.
it looked so cheap. Because
Party City looking motherfucker. It was great.
Right? Like, they have modernized so many outfits, and that one they're like, no, we're gonna keep that shit cheesy, and we're gonna give this motherfucker the most emotional depth.
Oh yeah.
The most, like, you saw him thinking the entire time. You saw the moments where he was
That's
like,
the spirit of comics, really. We are gonna give so
Yeah.
much emotional depth to the dumbest looking guy you've ever fucking
and
seen.
that's why I think this episode is such a beautiful episode, because in the meta way, it is one of the most comic-like and its most embodiment of Loki's chaos. It was the most chaotic and successfully plot-driven, plot-moving forward episode. And I loved that. Also, did I cry? Also, can we talk about this motherfucker made Asgard? I don't know. He just was like...
Yeah. I did
For
hate
his
that
purpose.
line where Loki was like, maybe we're stronger than we realize. I was like, okay. We get it.
I was like, Loki,
A lot of
maybe
growth.
you're stronger than you realize. Kid Loki knew. Kid Loki killed
Kid
Thor.
Loki knew.
Yeah.
Kid Loki
Oh.
has a pretty good... He also built a machine that tracks, like, Aethiol, whatever the fuck his name is.
Alia.
Like, Kid Loki's fine.
Also,
Classic Loki, also fine. Motherfucker built Asgard.
can we also appreciate the fact that classic Loki's thing that messed up his timeline and got him pruned was he just wanted to go check on his brother?
Truly
I'm
broke
so
my
mad.
heart.
I am so mad. I know the TVA, I know they literally killed that one dude for just showing up to work late, but he was kind of a dick. And I know classic Loki at the time he left was also probably kind of a dick, but I'm mad.
Like, classic Loki... Also, the way classic Loki ended was that he just... The fact is, like, he did the timeline the way the timeline was done. He just figured out a way to finesse it, and he was like, actually, I'm a little lonely. Actually, I do care about my... You're like, I'm sorry. You... And I do like the fact they mentioned how the TVA prunes Loki's at moments of emotional change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very interesting, and I think that will play into the next episode, because they keep saying Loki is this, Loki is that, Loki is this, in a way that as you watch the show, you're like, is Loki like this, or are you just like fucking this dude's mind up?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I feel like there's a big bad Loki. I feel like I'm gonna be so, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if they're gonna pull it off. But the way I feel like they're framing it is that there's another Loki at the finish line. And I swear to God, if they don't pull it off properly, this is gonna be in my face.
I also oh, you can go.
Oh, like something I was thinking about was Kid Loki, and the fact that he has all the components to be probably like one of the strongest, if not the strongest Loki. That's why they all respect him. But like if it was killing Thor, you can tell he regrets doing it. Like maybe not necessarily because he approved because of it, but I think he genuinely regrets what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shit, what was I going to say?
That you're a bad bitch?
That kind of goes without saying, but I appreciate
Sure.
it.
Sure.
It was about the finale. It was about Loki. Oh, I was just gonna say that I do hope that in the finale we get a moment where Sylvie thinks Loki has betrayed her and then he hasn't. I love a good fake out.
I do love a good
Because it'd be
fake
very
out.
on brand for Loki to go back, but then he didn't actually
Okay.
do it, and it doesn't undo the character development.
Also, this is I think whenever we get to the second to last episode now, I'm just setting out warnings. If you give me some Romeo and Juliet bullshit, I swear to fucking God. If I get some Romeo Juliet misunderstanding leading to someone to die bullshit, I swear to fucking God.
I will also be really upset if like they kill Sylvie and then Loki's whole thing goes becomes I need to find Sylvie again. I need to go back in time and
I hope
save
they kill
Sylvie.
Sylvie. I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be bad. I don't think it would be a good show, but I think it would be funny.
I think
That's what the real Loki would want.
I think the show is I think the show is solid. I think this is a good one, and I'm like, just end solid. You guys are aight. You guys are nice. You guys are a chill time. This show makes me want to watch Black Widow more, because I'm just like, because I do feel like this one is one of the more avant-garde. That's the right word? Like, I think they're trying new things. I think they're doing more daring characterizations and choices, and like going there, because I'm like, these timelines are kind of fucking dark. Like, we literally watched one world collapse. We watched several worlds collapse and be like, there is no hope. There's sometimes where there's just no hope. There's a timeline where Thor gets killed as a child. Get fucked. And then they destroy that entire timeline. Because how else do they fix that timeline? If Thor and Loki are dead as children. They killed that one.
That's the other thing that's like really funny to me though, based on what Mobius said to Loki when he first got there about like, you know, I know like Loki's, you're all like evil or like selfish and you backstab people the second you get the chance, which is like, imagine the gall of saying that, knowing that every single time when a Loki made a choice to not backstab someone, it led to the destruction of that entire little universe.
By the TVA.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
By the TVA.
By the TVA, right.
That's the level of manipulation I was talking about before, where I'm like, there's a part of me that feels like because they do that to every single Loki that deviates from the very specific rules set for them, that there's probably something at the beginning. And I hope I'm wrong.
He's literally being groomed to be evil.
Yeah, that I was like, that's rough, buddy.
That's rough.
That's and also the fact that they picked that second for the time loop where you're pathetic, you're alone. And I think it's one of those things where I'm like, maybe it's an Easter egg, maybe that's just the way the writing was. Like, but part of me is like, when Sif obviously looked like she forgave Loki, but still, and like helped Loki up, but still said, you're pathetic, you're alone, and walked off, I was like,
Well, it's a time loop. It's already happened. They can't change
I know they can't change it, But the fact is, like, it ends when she leaves the room, and obviously she can break it to a certain extent. So that was my brain being like, I feel like this is gonna come back somehow. Don't know how.
Okay, I know we've already passed this, like, discussion-wise. I'm just happy Sif is back. I've missed her.
Truly. I was
She'll be
like,
back in Love and Thunder, yeah?
Yeah.
I was just like, hot lady, please step on me. Please, I am baby. Also, when it comes to, listen, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I do love these women directors. I do like that moving away, even though Black Widow was originally for theaters, moving away and into Disney Plus, they're becoming more daring with their plots and their execution. It does actually make me want to watch Black Widow.
Well, it's the same writer. Is it? Yeah, same writer as WandaVision.
Right. So I'm like, okay, you guys, because before I was like, I don't know if I can do it, man. I feel the time has passed. Something about Scarlett Johansson trying to get the race Infinity Stones in her acting career really puts me off.
Yeah.
But like, you got to see it through, my guy. But like, all this writing, I'm like, and the fact that she's a fucking assassin, I was like, I really think I'm about to see some cutthroat bitches.
I
Love a girl
really
boss.
like Jack Schaefer's writing, so I think I will watch the movie.
Maybe I'll try and pirate it, just like to be good about it.
Yeah, so
I really loved WandaVision. It's still my number one. Like, Loki is now my number two.
solidly
but
number 2.
I
Yeah.
I do like it. Oh,
I do
also,
like it.
I don't know why they did this. I have a hypothesis, but WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier both labeled as miniseries.
Mhm.
Loki is labeled as a TV series. TV series, when you sell a TV series, that
You
is
sell multiple seasons.
implying it's a multi-season. Miniseries are not typically multi-season.
If
So
we get a cliffhanger, once again, I will riot.
We're going
So
to get
if-
some level of a crisp.
yeah, we're gonna
cliffhanger.
get some level. It could be a huge one. It could be a small one. We're probably gonna get.
But as we learned on the stream last week, though you weren't here, hi-ho, Tom Hiddleston is not on the IMDb page for Thor Love and Thunder, so he's not going to be Loki in that.
Yes.
Unless they're keeping it that far under wraps that he's not listed in the top billing, but there's no way he's getting anywhere lower than 20 times.
Yeah.
I'm still sorry, this is like unrelated, but the fact that Loki got like 14th billing for Infinity War and he was only in it for like 5 minutes is still very funny to me.
The fact that
As
he
always.
was paid the most per minute, like he got millions of dollars for like 8 minutes of work.
Phenomenal.
That's really funny.
The way I root for that type of hustle, not for white men in particular, but for pretty much anyone, I'm like, this is what people deserve.
Yeah.
This is what people deserve.
Also, Serge
So-
Binder said they saw Black Widow and actually enjoyed it. Give it about a 7.
Okay. All right.
Wait,
Like-
what would you give the current Marvel shows in comparison?
Yeah, that's
That we've
important.
seen.
Yes, Surge Binder, please answer.
Yeah.
I was thinking. What was I about to say? Wow, my brain just like completely gave up.
Loki
So
season
yeah,
2.
if they give us a season 2, which I don't understand why you wouldn't. If you sold it as a TV series, like why would you do that? And also the Wikipedia page does say it's under development, so I believe that we probably will be getting a season 2. It might not be the same writing team though. It could be a different writing team. It could be a different showrunner.
I would like a season 2 with more Mobius because I feel like
Mhm.
they set Mobius up with main character energy, but with very side.
I
character.
agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
And I think that's the disconnect I'm having, where I'm like, what are you doing?
I thought we were finally gonna get the buddy cop show that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to
the
be.
way
One day-
you will never get what you want.
One
Right?
day Momo will get a buddy cop show and then the TVA will come and destroy our universe.
Right.
I'll
Also,
be like, damn, Momo, what the fuck?
Serge Binder said they give the D+ shows a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
I
understand.
give WandaVision a 10. I give the Falcon and the Winter Soldier maybe a 6.5, and I give Loki. It's still in process, but I give Loki like a 9.
I'll probably give it I think I'm gonna give Loki an 8. We'll see how it goes.
Mm.
I just think the Sylvie romance. I think someone made a TikTok where they narrated it like it was Arrested Development, where they're like, these two are seemingly falling in love. What they didn't realize was it was just friendship.
But neither of them
And
had
I'm-
experienced it before.
Yeah, and I was just like, y'all are comrades. That's
Funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also-
like, it's not right, but it is funny.
yeah.
It is funny. Again, that's why I think Sylvie should die. Would it be right? No, it would be bad, but it would also be very funny.
I
Yeah.
do think that how people have reacted to like this self-cessed romance is so funny because some people are like straight up in denial and other people are just like, eh.
I
Some
think
people just don't care.
I think this is reflective. I think actually, you know what I want to say? The amount of people, when you've ever asked the question, would you fuck a clone of yourself? This show proves to me that a lot of people were lying because I've always said no. Whenever people have asked me, I've always said no, obviously not. So, like, when I'm like, to the Loki thing, but people who are like, no, this can't be real, or they're like, meh, I'm like, there are too many people who say that they will fuck themselves for me to believe y'all.
It's a
y'all are
45-55
Chat,
split.
chat, let's hear you sound off. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I feel like this is a reckoning of some sort. I don't know how to phrase it correctly, but I'm like, the amount of times that question has popped up for people or like come in meme form of like, would you fuck a clone of yourself? I'm
Yeah.
like, this proves y'all are not as badass as you
Lying.
think you are. I knew I would never. I knew from the depths of my soul I would never.
I think Amelia and I
now-
both said like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
here
on
I
brand
was-
for me, though.
Yeah,
Like,
but
anyone would
seeing
look at
it-
me and be like, yeah, she would.
Yeah, but seeing it on Loki and a lot of people being like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Where? So what was that energy then?"
I'm just like, when people, Chino says, I think I'm a really nice guy, but it's not me, it's me, I'd pass. Serge Binder says, I've always said yes, and I don't like Loki Sylvie, but the self-cessed isn't the reason. Same.
That's fair.
I just don't like unnecessarily romantic subplots, and honestly, I would respect them more if they fucked without romance.
You
I'm
know
just
what?
saying.
That would be more in character.
That would be
I
more in
just
character.
like-
I do agree with that.
Them seeing it, how it would work, and being like, "Okay, moving on." That would be. I would be like amazing, but I don't know why. But like something about this, I was like, I feel like a lot of you are realizing that you actually wouldn't.
Wouldn't.
Your answer is actually no. And
Fake
guys,
hoes.
for those who want to know, the reason I say that I would never is because I'm a bratty sub. So obviously, it would just never happen. I would just like, and I'm not a pillow princess, but I am a bottom. So what the fuck? I'm a bratty sub bottom. Like there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I would not. I would in
You know-
theory, but like in actuality, I think I would much rather like probably just go shopping with myself.
Yeah, I also wouldn't date myself. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
have said they would date themselves. I know
Oh, I
for a
wouldn't
fact-
date me.
myself.
I want to
I
date
w-
someone
I-
who's like emotionally stable and has a good job.
Yeah, I was like, I don't make money. I need to date someone with money.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to date someone with health insurance.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
Amelia, you have to ask your question that you asked
Oh!
last week to Hi Ho.
Yeah,
because that was a
Hi-Ho.
good question.
Do you have
Okay.
a clone protocol?
In what way?
In what way? So, in this instance, so here's the scenario I'm setting up.
Mhm.
Imagine teleportation exists, right?
Okay.
So you're gonna go somewhere, they completely dematerialize your body, and at a new location, they make a new hi-ho.
Okay.
One day, the cloning process messes up. So instead of disintegrating your first body and reappearing it somewhere, there's now two hi-hos walking around. So you both have about the same level of memories. You're both hi-ho. Both of you have the same claim to like, I am the real hi-ho. You go and you interact with each other. What happens now? Who gets to continue with hi-ho's life? What do you do? How do you resolve this?
Who's currently on?
Chat also answer. Chat also answer.
Are we both currently medicated?
Yeah, I mean, because you're like you're like one of you is you and one of you is like 10 minutes. Like one of you's just
Behind.
in another place. Like not even behind. One of you just kept existing here. The other one just started existing here. And like 10 minutes later, you walk into each other.
Oh,
So if you were medicated
If-
going into it, you were medicated now.
Okay, I was more of like who has access to the sertraline bottle.
I mean, I guess whoever gets back to your house first or apartment first,
Yeah,
right?
So I guess the second one is technically the clone. So first Parker gets priority. Once again, as someone who's played Mass Effect, spoilers for the Citadel DLC, you actually do have a clone. And I killed my clone. Literally, there was a point where you had to choose whether or not. And I was literally with my friend, and I was like, "Should I save them?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, but like that's too much work. If there were several planets available, I don't give a fuck."
So, like, do you think that, like, clone Hi-Ho, knowing that you would kill the second Hi-Ho, would, like, avoid you or try and kill you first?
I don't think they would try to kill me first. I think we would just go if there are different planets available. I think both of us would just be like, no, no, we don't like this.
But you like realize the clone doesn't know they're a clone at first. They think the teleportation process worked.
Yeah, but I think the fact that they know they came from the teleportation part means that once you saw the other one, you're like, oh, I'm the clone. And like it would suck, but part of me is also like, we both know we don't want to exist. So it really is which one of us in those milliseconds of change is more suicidal.
Okay, let's see. Searchbinder says, the farthest my clone protocol goes is to try out sleeping with myself and see how it goes. Maybe we decide who lives based on that. Sorry.
Whoever doesn't finish gets to live.
Yeah, that or maybe they become a step sibling. Very weird to say that after the first part, LOL. It was.
Right, because of twins.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
But like you guys, but like twins are individual people who both have their own sense of identity and like their own stuff to some extent, or a concept of sharing. It's like, do you guys both just go to work? Do you guys both like go to, you know, if you guys are dating someone, how do you adjudicate that?
Well, the thing is, I am poor. So it would more be like, well, we do have a backup name that we liked, so I guess you can use that one. So they would get a different name. We obviously would just share a vote, and we would wait until we dated someone techie and got them to go on the black web and get us a new identity, and then we would just be twins at that point. One of us would have to get their hair changed. And since I fight the compulsion to shave my head, there will probably be the one who has to shave their head. Second one has to shave their head.
Question: what happens if you get cloned in a way where neither of you know who is the original and who is the clone? It's like the clone twins on Invincible.
Yeah.
This is why you got to figure this out before you get cloned, because right now you're on the same page with yourself.
It's also one of those things where I don't think I would get cloned. You know when people are like,
oh my god, it's a hypothetical scenario.
No, it's one of those times where it's just like, if I knew that would happen, I would freak out and I just wouldn't do it.
Well, no one ever thinks they're gonna get cloned.
We don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, with twins, you diverge really quickly. Like, it's like that one episode of Futurama where, like, the fact that one fry went back in time was enough to change the other fry to become Lars. So I'm literally like, whoever is more in the vibe of wanting to shave their head. And I assume in the future it's easier to get things. I think we have we'll have like a non-Amazon Amazon, or call it Blamazon. So in the future there's
Black
Blamazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where like, no matter what you say, I'm going to be pretty chill about it. Cause I'm like, one of us is going to be more suicidal, or one of us is going to want to shave their head in that moment. Because I have ADHD and my mood swings so fast that slight change in teleportation means we're going to be on just enough of a different wavelength where we can resolve this peacefully.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think I just said I would sue the teleportation company, and then the other one would get a new identity and just live a different life.
Shit. Yeah, I forgot about suing.
Yeah.
We would also sue. Once again,
back to our original topic.
Whoever actually shaves their head first is the one who has to move.
So does this mean I'm a clone?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I haven't found other Amelia yet. We haven't killed each other, so I guess we got to make it work.
Oh, are you guys gonna kill each other?
We have 5 minutes. if we see each other on site, we can kill each other within the first 5 minutes. We don't actively have to, but we have the first 5 minutes to, like, kill each other. And then if we don't kill each other in the first 5 minutes, we'll just figure it out. I'm impulsive enough that I could just go around and do things, and we'll just trade off. And I'm forgetful enough that, like, there's always stuff that needs to be done, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like it's one of those things where, like, I really like my bed, which is, like, the main, what I know is, like, really stupid, but I'd be like, I would fight over my bed.
Someone said
I don't
who
know if
sets
that says
the
a
murder
lot
timer.
about me.
It's on tight. I don't particularly like my bed. I'm not really attached to any of my physical possessions, like, sentimentally. I mean, in the sense that, like, I like having a desk because I need a desk. I like this desk because it looks nice. If someone stole it, I would be mad. But if, like, I don't know, other Amelia wants a desk, I'll be like, okay, I'll take this.
That's the thing. It's like the immediate inconvenience that I don't know if I can get through. Like, the fact is, like, who's sleeping where that night? Am I single? Oh, that's awkward. See, I've been single for 5 years, so I wanted to think about it. Like, who gets the husband? Or who gets your wife? Who gets the dog?
I don't have pets. I am single. If I was dating someone, we would do something a little freaky, and then we would figure it out.
What about if you had a pet?
I really don't know. I've never become emotionally attached to any pet. I haven't owned one, so I really don't know what it's like to form that sort of bond with anything.
Not even a fish?
My fish killed himself, and I was like, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he burrowed his head into the rocks. It was very weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
They Victoria Wolfed it? Damn.
Yeah, so...
Pockets full of rocks, guys. You didn't hear it from me.
I also...
Historically,
I know this
pockets
isn't
full
how
of
people
rocks.
work with pets, but I also can't imagine getting a pet and not just being able to, like, okay, you can take this one, I'll find another cat. I don't think that's how they work, but that's how it works in my mind.
It depends on the person, I guess. But especially if you...
Sorry, Chino said Amelia's out here a second and a half from becoming Zahir, not attached to any earthly possessions. Like,
Yeah, the way I was like, I would have to kill myself over a bed, I was like, wow.
Okay, Chino says having pets like having a child. Switch Rider says about to strangle the Earth Queen. Yeah, probably.
That's the thing, because, like, if you have, like, a shitty pet... Listen, we had a dog. We had a Jack Russell Terrier. His name was Lucky. He chewed through a dishwasher. We did not have an emotional attachment.
Dishwasher?
Yeah, he chewed through a dishwasher. We did not have an emotional attachment to that dog. Like, actually, my dad was like, we are giving this dog to a different family because we can't fucks with this motherfucker no more. So, like, in that sense, like, when you have, like, a pet that just doesn't gel with you, yeah, whatever. But then you get a pet that gels with you, where I'm like, listen, Fonzie is a crotchety old bitch, but I love her to death. You know what? All she wants to do is be pet, get cuddles, and sleep in the California king bed by herself or with me, if I have to sleep there too. I would be a little upset if I had to give her up and find a different cat. Had to start with the vibes all over. Oh no. What if they bite? Fonzie doesn't bite. You can give her belly rubs.
I don't know. I just feel like if I had a cat that bites, I'd be like, yeah, okay. I'm like I'm much more easygoing than I really should be to be a functioning human.
I think it's one of those things where, like, once again, I'm like, it takes when you meet that pet where you're like, ah, shit, this is my motherfucking nigga right here. That's when, and everything, you know.
I think we should get back to the actual topic of the episode.
You started it. You made her ask the episode, and then I...
Loki, episode 5. Where were we? Probably... I think we hadn't even gotten to the whole, like illusion thingy yet. How they were doing the power of friendship.
Oh yeah.
The enchantment.
Okay,
that shit was
guess.
The dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I guess.
It was
yeah.
I thought it was gonna
agree.
be cool, and then it wasn't cool.
It was so much worse than I thought it was gonna be. I hate
like
the power of friendship.
It's
Like
literally
Asgard
their
projection was so much cooler than like the enchanting
so
alliance
cool.
thing.
It was one of those times where I blame them trying to create this romance on they just, because I was like, we literally saw this motherfucking lift buildings. We've seen, like, Loki himself lift buildings. You've seen him ask how enchanting works. You know that we know this motherfucker is smart, and you're telling me he didn't think about how to do enchantment until this moment once he knew it was an option. You're telling me he needed to be coached through it. You need
It's
to be
just-
like, we're stronger than we realize, kumbaya bullshit.
I think
No. That was like a forced romance moment that weakened both characters, and I was like, Sylvie would have just been like, get your shit together. You can do this, get it. Bleh, bleh, bleh.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that kind of bugs me about Loki's characterization in this series is he's like the least cunning of any Loki in any of the other
Yeah.
stuff.
He's so stupid.
He's so dumb.
Theoretically, he should be the most cunning because he's like Avengers 1 Loki.
Yeah, he's like the guy, he's like Loki at his evil prime.
Yeah.
He's the one who literally stole. You had
The
the cunningness
Tesseract.
to steal the Tesseract to get
And got all the
through.
Avengers fighting against each other by like weaving his little web of deceit. All while he was in the Hulk prison.
Like,
This Loki doesn't know shit.
Like, maybe it's the whole, like, realizing the Tesseract is actually kind of pointless is what changed him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I do
this is
know, like a shaken up, like you get thrown off your game, so you make mistakes. But where's the self-conf? I guess they have
Also-
been breaking it down, but like it hasn't been enough.
This is why I hate when characters have like an arc where they become a good guy and the good guys get dumb. Because bad guys are always way, way more smart than the heroes. They are so much smarter than the heroes. They have plans on plans on plans, and the heroes show up and they destroy it, which is good because you don't want the bad things to happen. But like, it's just it's like a thing that happens. One show that it doesn't happen is like in She-Ra, because Catra's still a bitch and a conniving genius when she's like good. But it's just like, I don't know, there's just a thing with, I think it's because in movies like this, heroes and the good people tend to be so reactive to the plot that if they sat back and planned everything out, it wouldn't be as much of a story.
I agree, because the bad guys already have the plan, and then the hero's plan is undoing that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like when you were saying She-Ra, my brain was like Fred from Scooby-Doo. Fred makes ridiculous traps. Fred is still reactive, but still, like, I mean, depending on like the show, but like his traps are still ingenious, cunning, using the landscape, pulling out things from God knows where, tools out the ass. And I'm like, if Fred from Scooby-Doo can still be a clever motherfucker with their villain of the week, they can figure out a way to make Loki the most cunning Loki. Especially because this Loki is, because each episode is something he's never seen before. And I think it's still easy to be reactive and cunning in a way that where you're like, yeah, this is something you've literally never seen before that breaks the laws of what you know before. So it's still easy to be cunning without making him so stupid where he's like, we're gonna sneak up on a cloud.
Right. Also, like, I get it, the main character of the show needs to be relatable to the audience, and so that's why they're usually boring and dumb. But, like, come on. Wanda wasn't boring and dumb. Wanda was amazing.
Wanda, yeah. Listen, as soon as Wanda learned what was up, she was learning shit.
She got that
was
shit
the
under
same thing.
control.
Wanda was the most cunning because she put runes on the thing.
Yeah.
That's me being frustrated.
I like also if you really look at it, a lot of comedy, especially comedy written by men, relies on men being stupid.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
That's why, and that's
King of
also why
Queens.
so many things rely on the miscommunication, Romeo and Juliet style, as a plot development, when it's so much more satisfying to have everyone be competent and do things well and it still turn out bad.
Yeah.
That's
Because that's a tragedy. That's
an
true
actual tragedy, not like, damn, if these bitches could text, oh, it's just be over.
Right? That's one of the reasons why historical romance is my favorite genre to pick up without fear. Because I'm like, they can't text. If they do something that annoys me, I mean, this nigga went to war. Okay, pigeons are not reliable. It's okay. As soon as
They're
any
actually
modern
really reliable, actually.
I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking during war, and I'm thinking they're
Okay.
getting shot. But like, you know what I mean? Like, there are you have to go 3 weeks. You know, you have to the fact if someone told me I had to stew in my own anxiety for 3 weeks, of course I'd be doing some balls off the wall shit. Historical romance has that built-in buffer. Any modern shit where you're like modern tech or future tech, and you have people be that fucking stupid, you're like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, we all have been on TikTok, so like I guess technically you're still correct, but
Yeah.
be
And
less correct.
to catch up with the chat, Searchfinder says Sylvie saying "we're the same" really upset me because they're such different people. Like maybe they started the same, but now they're very different people. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I thought that was like one of the main things of that episode was to show that they were different. Like
I think
that
they
was-
just wanted to really drive home the like romance thing.
God.
Once again, romance ruins plots so much.
So much.
There are certain things that people shit on that are actually really hard to write. One of them is horror.
Romance.
And the other is romance. Those two things that people shit on all the time, I'm like, it's actually because you can't do them.
Yeah, you're not good at it. So don't
Interpersonal relationships are hard, and to shoehorn it into the Disney princess thing you grew up in to make it work means you actually don't know how to write it.
Oh.
Because you could have made it such a self-love journey that you probably could have made me want this, but you just didn't know how to make me want it.
That's what I was going to say earlier that I forgot. It would be so good to see someone just give someone a plot, like a movie that they need to write. Like, give it to whatever big male writers are doing it. Tell them that they need to write a movie about the bonds of male friendship, and it's just like a group of guys doing things. And then when you cast it, just cast some of those parts as women, and that will be... And then just change it to have, like, two of them to have a romantic ending. And that would be a better romance than anything the MCU has done, minus Scarlet Witch and Vision, because that was actually really well done, I think. But...
Yeah. No, that shit, whoo, Lord. And also, second to Sarah and Bucky.
That was so cute. I wanted them to have more time.
Right? Like, the fact that they had 5 minutes together, and I was like, this is the second best romance in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, solidly, I was like, I get it. Like, I was like, no, yeah, I can take this. I can, but...
I was like, the chemistry in those tiny little scenes, nowhere else is it matched. Nowhere else.
Like,
Except in
I was
WandaVision.
actually thinking about this earlier, but like a lot of the times when men write romance and they want it to be like comical, like a little bit funny, they don't know how to write it in a way where like the man isn't incompetent and the woman isn't completely capable.
Oh.
Because that's like what quote unquote comedy is. And it's not really that funny, and it's tired. Like that's what all of it is. That's what it's been like for like years upon years upon years.
I also think
Especially
it...
because, sorry.
I was going to say, I also think it comes from a place where I don't think people, or a lot of men are capable of writing a romance where a man treats a woman with respect where he's not an idiot, and the reason he respects her is because she's so much smarter than him. Like, I don't think they can fathom a man just respecting his wife.
Yeah.
Well, they do, like Bob's Burgers was one of the few that like actually does that.
Yeah.
But like so many romances
But like,
are like
exception proves the
911
rule.
Lone Star also does this.
yeah. So many romances are just like
We got two.
incapable,
Yeah.
incapable,
Yeah.
incompetent man, and then like overly capable woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
No.
And it's it's like an idea that's pushed from like literally children's media all the way up to like adult media. If you like think like The Amazing World of Gumball, is that the name of the show?
Mm-hmm.
That's like a prime example of that same like dynamic being pushed to children as like King of Queens is being pushed to adults. It's the same exact like dynamic, like relationship wise, and it's old and it's tired. But like both of these shows are like written by men and directed towards like young men or like boys / adult men.
Which not. I'm gonna tie it back to Loki in a second, but I do
Yes.
think it's a symptom of more of like the fact that like
It's just misogyny.
it's misogyny, and I think this is one of the I have this conversation a lot where I'm like, we are currently in both media in like day-to-day life, one of the first current reiterations of which people are learning how to be in love. Like, you know, like Viking women
Yeah.
can get divorced and do math and all that shit. So it's not like it's never happened before. But in this current iteration of where the cycles and pockets of, you know, that power come in, we're in
Mhm.
where people actually do not know how to be in love.
No.
For a
Yeah.
fact, because before, women did not even have to like their husbands. They're like, I need to be able to have a bank account to buy bread. Which
Yes.
of these niggas
Yes.
do I think will not hit me so I
That's
can buy
exactly
bread?
why I despise the term, oh, you guys fight like an old married couple. Because, like, do you think they fight because they like each other? No.
No. They fight
They
because
do
they
not.
got married at 19 and then he went off to war and they needed a job and they wanted a house. And then
Yeah,
it popped
like-
out 3 kids because no one ever taught them how contraceptives work and they weren't available.
Yeah.
And they didn't get divorced because what would the church think?
Yeah.
And also, like,
That's
what would
not
she do?
doing it.
What recourse did they have? Did she have?
Right. So like
Yes.
we're in those current, and I think one of the aspects is that like the trope of competent woman, incompetent man, because that was the woman who took care of the house, is that women are taking this competence. Fun fact for those who do not know, I am a they them. I am not a woman, but women are have this competence and then also this ability to be self-sufficient. So they actually have to like men to be with them, and men have to learn to become competent and actually have women like them, and they do not understand that.
Like half the shows, like they don't have to be any bit confident for women to
No,
like
they
them
don't have to be
because the women will
competent.
be like will literally like them for being incompetent, and that's like not really
That's
true to
not-
life. But then you see
Yeah.
like on TikTok those annoying ass couples where like the man is literally acting like a child and the girl's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, stop.
Also, just pet peeve, speaking of people not knowing how to be in relationships, shows where the man's family, especially his mom, treats his wife like shit constantly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna... Chino said, very mommy, give me milkies.
But no, that's like
Yeah.
the thing, because like it's like this is like one of those deviations where you see it come up where they're like they model their parental selfless love with them giving nothing back except, you know, my dad wanted me to play baseball, so I play baseball. My wife expects me to have a job, so I have a job. But everything else is fucking handed to me on a silver platter. And you're like, this is how love works. And you're like, literally, no, that's how raising a child works, you dumb fuck. And we're seeing that like modeled in these shows of like incompetent child with abundance of love given, and because they're the main character and because they're written by people who are writing the idealized version of what they would want, no matter how much they try to mask it in plot lines, it's coming off in disingenuous, and it's coming off worse and worse as we are where people are finally getting therapy. People are getting the independence, and so they're realizing that, oh, I date someone because I like them, because I want to be a partner with them, and it's us versus our problems, or it's us experiencing these things together. And like that's what it's missing. Like if the self-cessed Loki ship was more of like a buddy cop like romance, like, you know, it's like, oh, you have such pretty eyes. It's like, that's exactly what I would say. And then like they're on that wavelength because they think similarly, but they think different enough where it would be like slightly different jokes. You know what I mean? There's like why
But they
did
won't give me my buddy cop that thing I want. They
No.
refuse to give
Yeah,
it to me.
but
That's
like
all
if
I
you
want.
imagine like buddy cop romance, like that like style, I'd eat that shit up actually. I'd be like, you know what? Give it me more. But you can't do that. Like people just cannot think of a way of writing things in which just like, and as you said, just write friendships. Guess what? Most romance is just friendship
Friendship.
deluxe.
It's
That's
just
what it is.
friendship with benefits.
It's friendship with
Yeah.
benefits. And you know, it's literally like friendship with the life insurance, because you know, like a lot of times, because including asexual people, they have wonderful, fulfilling romantic relationships. Guess what? No sex. Like you
Friendship
can
with
write
health
romance.
benefits.
Yeah, basically. They're like, this is friendship deluxe. We share a house. Give me that. Write a friendship, and guess what? Boom, you'll probably write a really good romance at writers.
Hylia Hump says, if I'm saying that right. Do any of you all want to write for a kid show? You'll have really good directions and ideas.
Yes, I do. I am in the process of actually writing a kids show.
That's amazing. Can you define what age range you mean by kid show?
I think you could probably just define it for yourself. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the chat person.
No, I mean like literally
asking
same
chat
target
person.
audience as Avatar: The Last Airbender. So like that's a pretty big age range, I'd say. Like maybe like 8 to like 15.
Yeah.
I think I could do. I would be like Disney XD range, like Cartoon Network, like
See,
16 on Nickelodeon range.
I'm pretty sure Disney XD was just supposed to be Disney for boys.
Yeah.
So
What?
I don't think it's for older kids. It was just Disney for boys.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why there was like all those like skating shows.
Yeah.
Like karate shows, because it was supposed to be Disney for boys.
But it was okay. So the reason my eyes are so confused is because where I lived and on Comcast, it was like Disney XD was like 128, and then 129 was like that weird Nick knockoff where you get like Tutankhamun and like Kappa Mikey, and then there was like the third one with like 29 down. Like those were three.
That's Discovery Kids.
Discovery Kids, and then the other off-brand Nick one, like the ones that were like targeted differently.
I like the
was
ones that just played the game shows from the 90s and early 2000s. Those were great.
Yeah. So like that was the block. Like it was those three channels right together, like plus. So that's why Disney XD was in that block, because I'm like, oh, this is like flight 29 down area.
Oh
like,
no, it was just like Disney for boys.
Just for the guys.
I don't like that. I don't like.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, my answer for that question is I'd write for a kid show, but only if it's one of those kid shows like Infinity Train, where I get to traumatize the kids just a little bit. And it's kind of for adults.
The way you wiggled. Yeah.
Just like a little. Kids gotta learn. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Kids gotta learn.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I actually primarily write romance fantasy. That's
like Chino would eat that shit up. Chino, where are you? Are you still in the chat?
Oh yeah. Does Chino know of all those plot lines that I have?
I don't think he does.
Yeah, like one of the novels that
someone asked if you have a book out.
I don't have a book out at the moment.
Chino,
I need to finish. Okay, so this is, for those who want to know, the book that I am the closest to finishing, and that every year I'm like, I'm going to finish this year, and then I get busy doing something else. Like this year I got an art studio for some fucking reason, which is why I have magnetic paint on my hands, was that it is a succubus romance novel that also features werewolves as the secondary monster class. But the plot is, for succubi to become immortal, they have to kill their soulmate within like around their awakening age. And
I'm so sad.
And so the way and like that's the way succubi become immortal. And so the council decided, hey, we don't want any of the monsters to know that we're not immortal. So they made it a rule. So the council decides and does this. And so usually people you find your soulmate through your dreams, and then you can find them in real life. And because succubi are so attractive and whatever, they're actually really influential people. So they have the money to create these identities, whatever. And so
the chat loves this. BT dubs.
Oh,
I'm like almost in tears because like
don't worry, it gets better. It's going to get better. So we have the main character, Lillian. She is a descendant of Lily, of course. Lilith, my bad. And so she is a little different because she sees her soulmate super early, around the age of 5, and she doesn't realize it's her soulmate. She just thought she was controlling her dreams really well because they go through like dream control training and stuff like that. And so they grow up with each other through dreams. And by the time she realizes it, she has this conflict of faith of being like, if I don't do this, I'll get axed, and he'll get axed, but I love my soulmate. I don't want to kill them. And so she's like going through this. And of course, he doesn't really know about it because it's all happening in dreams, but he's like, yeah, I've never really dated. I've always been waiting for the one. And when she finally meets, he's like, this is the one. And she's like, I don't know what to do because I do love you. I want to connect in real life and create these new memories, but also the council will destroy everything. And unbeknownst to her, his best friend is a werewolf, and he's like, I smell a succubus nearby. What the fuck is going on? And she's like, oh, this is dramatic. And so the werewolf is trying to protect his best friend from the succubus, and she's just like, the council is coming after all of us. And I'm falling in love again in real life. This is really tough.
I just don't.
I'm so sad. Does it have a happy ending?
It has a very happy ending.
Okay, then
It
I'm
also
not
has
sad
a
anymore.
spin-off with the werewolf. The werewolf also gets a happy ending. He does
I
go
do
through a little
feel
bit of
happy.
trauma though.
Someone asks, so the wolves know, and someone else asked, is there a title I can keep an eye out for?
Yes. Oh my god. So the werewolf, this is a good amount of lore. The werewolf, specifically, his name is Lucas. He is half berserker werewolf and half moon phase werewolf. So, because werewolves are very, pack-like, they did not like intermingle different styles of werewolves. So he's one of the first generations of inter-pack stuff. So he's under a lot of pressure, but he has one human best friend, and he was like, yeah, this is like my thing. And then he because, succubi use pheromones. He smells the pheromones. And he's like, fuck, my friend's human, can't really tell him, but I'm trying to deal with the succubus thing. But also my pack is judging me extra harshly because, they're trying to figure out if I can succeed as, an interbred werewolf. Unfortunate. So
Chino said she's biracial.
da, da, da. And then it was Soul to Keep. That's the title.
Soul to keep.
Soul to Keep.
Yeah, Search Finder says they were hoping for a tragic ending. Me too. I would just kill my soulmate.
No,
Listen,
Amelia.
What?
We
Most people
do
don't
get
end
a
up finding
scene.
their soulmates in real life. It'd be fine.
do you guys want to hear the most tragic scene? And it's not a spoiler.
Okay.
The most tragic scene I've written so far is that Lillian's mom is also a succubus. Obviously, you're only allowed to have one child, which is your soulmate's child. And there are lesbian succubi. We do have an adoption system where succubi who don't want to have children, who want to keep their children, will like give their children to lesbian succubi who want children, all that shit. Because things happen, and yes, there are gays everywhere. She was a twin. The mom was a twin, and that was very uncommon. So people were watching them very closely. Her twin soulmate died in a freak accident before she could find them. And so when she aged out of the time of when people usually find their soulmates, they did a very painful procedure to see if they could find her, going through her dreams, found out he was dead. So the twin sister went before the tribunal and got murdered, and her sister didn't get to say goodbye to her. And that's why the mom hates the council. So she had to see her twin die.
That was kind of rude and seems a little unnecessary.
Well, because the sister couldn't become immortal, and they didn't want other races to know that they are in fact mortal to a point. So if you can't become immortal through your soulmate, they axe you. So it was pretty sad. I was like, damn.
It's
double homicide.
Right. You didn't have to do this. But I did. I kind of did.
I did it for the world building and the plot and the lore, but damn, this real hurt. This hurt a bit.
Yeah. So
It hurt a lot.
Anyways, Loki, right?
Sorry guys.
No, don't apologize. This is great.
I mean, we Loki did finish the show, the episode, our talking points.
Yeah. What else?
And we're just building off of it.
I have 50,000 words written. It's so close to being done.
Yeah, the chat seems to be enjoying. Well, they actually, there's a lot of sadness expressed. I'm not gonna read each message. Watch the
Don't
VOD.
worry, it's really cute. They have really cute dream scenes. She builds him a boat.
Someone said, "Oh damn, this was a Loki stream." Don't apologize for derailing with questions. We allow ourselves be derailed.
You know what? I've always been against vampire werewolf genre things, because I do think, because of the popularity of Twilight and things like that, it has just become one of the most aggressively heterosexual tropes out there. But there are amazing people like our friend Hi-Ho that can take out the aggressiveness of the heterosexuality that is oftentimes forced into these tropes and make it actually something good. So I will be reading it when it comes out.
Also, Lucas is bisexual.
Yes.
He is actively bisexual in this book.
Love that.
And he
for
is
him.
very smart. He is a well-read himbo. And we love him.
Yes. I'm glad that's a very happy note. Thank you.
Yes. So, once again, please rank your top 3 characters. Not in my novel. You can do that too if you'd like. But in in this episode.
I don't think you ever gave us the name of the human, so I don't think we can.
It's Cole is the human. He does pottery. That's his big dream, is to do
Oh,
pottery.
cool.
Lillian is the main girl. She is dark-skinned as hell, just to let everyone know. And
Amazing.
Lucas is the werewolf.
Okay. So where was my favorite characters for this Loki episode? B15, my one and only. I know like she was only in there for a bit, but she made an impact. Number 2, God, this is freaking hard. Can I have a tie for number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
Number 2 is tied for classic Loki and alligator Loki. And then number 3, you all know it, boastful Loki, because I'm rooting for everyone black.
My number 1 was alligator Loki. Bit off that nigga's hand without a second thought. Love that for him. Also, the fact that mysterious. The fact that he embodies mystery and chaos. I love it. Number 2, I think also goes to B15. Number 3 tied. No, wait. 2 is tied between B15 and classic Loki, and 3 is Kid Loki.
Okay.
With a special consideration to everyone's favorite Sky Demon Puppy.
Oh, special consideration for Mobius too, because I love that guy.
Yeah. Okay, 3rd, I am going... Oh, shit. Okay, 3rd, I'm gonna say... classic Loki, because I feel like he was the best Loki in this episode. 2nd, I'm gonna go with Hunter B15, because I feel like she's had the best, like, out of the side characters, has had actually, like, the most development and the best character arc.
It's true.
And for number 1, I'm gonna say Alioth, because we love a good boy.
Chat, as always, you can give us your top 3s.
Let's see. Searchbinder said the favorite characters of your story: the twin, the human, and then the main character. You just said the names, but they forgot.
That's fair.
Yeah. There's like a little bit of a delay. I don't know if people are typing.
That's fair.
Someone actually hasn't watched Loki yet. They showed up because they found out that we had a Twitch from TikTok. Well, thank you for joining us.
Oh,
Thank
was
you.
it my TikTok? Probably.
Probably. I
Probably.
forget to promote so often.
I don't remember what day it is ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's from your TikTok, Momo?
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Hey.
Glad to
Special.
have you.
Yay.
Also, I don't know. There was one time where I said there was a chatter of the week. Our chatter of the week is tied between that person who's not seen the show but came for the vibes and Searchbinder.
Searchbinder. That's highly a hemp. They're also the person who asked a bunch of questions about your novel.
There you go.
Chino said they haven't seen any of the Lokis either. Have you been as confused as me? Phenomenal. Talking
Chino.
to highly a hemp. Searchbinder, fave Loki characters: Kid Loki, B15, and then Mobius. Solid. They are confused, but they love our opinions. Perfect.
If/when we get a season 2, I do want more Mobius. I do want more of him.
I want more Mobius.
I feel like
Also-
we've been missing out.
Quote, Momo always has a solid take. It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, what's the show after Loki?
What if?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
if?
which now does have a release date finally.
When?
I think it's August 11th or August 15th. I don't
Okay.
know which one.
We will have about 2 or 3 non-Marvel episodes.
I'm not super sure how that's gonna work because like there's no speculation for what if because they're literally telling us what would happen if.
True. So, what might happen is I might develop a fun little stream game where I'll give us like
August
each of us a
11th,
prompt, and we have to create we'll have the same like basics, and we'll each create and pitch a story, and I guess chat will decide the winner each week.
Okay.
I was thinking it would be
Amelia's gonna win. This isn't fair.
Bitch, I'm right here.
Have you not seen Amelia write? Amelia's like literally
have you seen? Bitch, I'm a published poet. Go fuck yourself.
Bruh, have you not listened to Amelia's podcast?
Have you not remembered that during freaking playlist, Christmas playlist games, I wrote a title that was more Amelia than Amelia, and I all y'all fooled?
You did. I did
Put
forget that. My
respect
bad.
on
My
my
bad.
name.
I did forget.
I've won. This is really stupid, but I have plaques in my house my parents refuse to throw away of me being state champions for being a public speaker several years in different categories. I'm not saying Amelia's bad. I'm just
Were
saying
you a
I was,
debate
like,
kid?
I wasn't a debate kid. I was
Okay.
a creative writing kid.
All right. I was about to be very worried.
No, I just
Amelia, were you a
participated-
debate kid?
No, I was a robotics kid.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I just I've participated in a lot of poetry competitions, and the way I usually perform poetry is by actually improving the poetry. And I've also done protest poetries with Daniel Bernard Romaine.
I was gonna suggest that in one of the off days we should do a stream where we all discuss a show that doesn't exist and we're just making up plot points and bringing up hot takes as we talk.
Love it.
I do love that.
And we won't tell the audience when.
We won't tell the audience.
So you won't know. You won't know the show does not exist until you try to look it up and be like, I can't find the show anywhere because we made it up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
So
So that's what you have to look forward to for Blerd Roundtable in the coming weeks.
once again, I
Loki.
think Amelia is a wonderful author. I just wanted respect put on my name.
That's fair.
Respect. I
was
did forget
not-
you did write that thing that was more Amelia than Amelia.
And I'm a published poet. What the fuck?
I didn't know that.
That's true. It's under my dead name, so I don't talk about it anymore. But yeah, I'm a published poet.
Oh, hold on. Nightbot's being weird.
Oh, Nightbot.
Nightbot is so aggressive.
Oh my gosh! Wait. In honor of Chino, should we have one where we rank the top 10 webtoons? Our top 10 webtoons.
I've not read any webtoons.
Why, Chino? You want to come on the show and we can have like a webtoons tournament?
Well, I think Chino's also doing like his own TikTok. So
He
if
said
you
yes,
TikTok,
yes,
Twitch.
please.
There we go.
Chino, you should do that on your Twitch. Like rank
He
yours.
said yes.
I'll join Chino. Let us be friends, Momo. You can be there.
I'm saying like you should go on his stream
I will.
and
will.
instead of doing it on ours.
I will. Or maybe I'll do it on my. Oh, guys. Fun fact: I also draw, and I will start drawing soon because, as I said before, I am moving into my own art studio, so my art streams will be coming back on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Nice.
If you
Alright.
like skulls and flowers and pretty but slightly scary ladies, I'm the art streamer for you.
Okay.
That's what you have to look
Paint
forward
stream?
to.
Sometimes. Yeah, they paint.
Yeah, I can bring a painting out right now if you guys wanted.
The chat delay.
What's the channel for the art streams?
Hi Ho Silverworks.
While we're promoting things, if you want to follow me doing anything, just go to links.ameliasom.com. It's all written there because if I say it all out loud, you're not going to remember it. But links.ameliasom.com has all the things I'm in, and there's even a podcast tab. Yeah. Hi Host. It's Hi Ho Silverworks, right?
Yep, Hi Ho Silverworks is where you can find me almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
And I'm gonna be
This
on one of
was
your
a
like D&D streams
Patreon.
eventually. Yeah.
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 This is a Patreon only design.
Where's
This is
the?
a Patreon exclusive. So I do in fact draw.
Oh yeah, I need to schedule. I haven't scheduled a day for you, have I?
No, you have not. But I moved back to America early August.
Yeah. Okay.
We also have
Probably be September when we do that.
Okay.
Are you talking about your Tuesday thing? You didn't schedule me for your Tuesday.
I haven't scheduled you. I'm also saving you for September.
Wake me up when September starts.
Yeah, so we all have separate stream accounts. So I stream on different accounts. I stream video games on my personal Twitch, Amelia Som, and then I stream Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at Lark Network, which is, again, if you... Here, I'm just going to drop my link in the chat. Just links.ameliasom.com is... We should make a command. Once we finish this stream, we'll make a chat command for our social links. And
Okay.
Also, we just want to say thank you for, I think we hit 100 followers here on
Oh, super
Twitch.
cool.
Ooh.
I think the last time I checked, we were at like 98, and I'm only assuming since then we may have gotten 2 people. And we want to say thank you so much. And when it comes to getting Twitch emotes and all that stuff,
Your mic.
We're at 106 followers!
so when it comes to like Twitch emotes and all that stuff, once one of us comes back to the United States, we will stream one more day a week. It might not be all 3 of us together, it might alternate, but we will get to the point where we can have subs and we will have fancy Twitch emotes. So start brainstorming what you want us to do for our little emotes, because oh look, there's Fonz.
Aww.
Hey Fonz.
Fonz isn't on screen. Because it's like slightly cropped. There you go.
Hello.
What do you have to say, Fonz? Exactly. So let us know what you want. We want to say we're very grateful. We're so glad that you're here with us, and we love making content for y'all.
Yes.
I don't like talking to most people. I like talking with y'all, and that says something.
Aw. Thanks.
And I included chat. You guys are a great chat.
So we'll see you here, same time next week, 8 o'clock
Yeah, to
Central
talk about
Time,
the
9 Eastern.
finale.
The finale! Will this show pull it off? Who knows? I don't.
Who fucking knows?
Okay. Bye!
Bye-bye.